we kind of felt shift in the technology towards automation and probably even a faster shift towards artificial intelligence. Data-driven decision making, which when we power with AI, is definitely going to be the backbone of future businesses. Today, if you see, AI is a business driver. If you have buildings with smart sensors, basically the building itself becomes smart. If you haven't started the AI journey, I think it's already late, but never too late.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Aspire Stories of Innovation, that of our podcast series. Today, we are joined by a distinguished professional whose career spans 26 years in the technology ecosystem, Manu Madhavan, the Chief Operating Officer of DCUBE Ai. Beginning his IT journey in 1999, he has grown through every phase of the industry, from the early days of traditional IT to the dynamic, fast evolving digital landscape that we are seeing today. During his career, he has taken on multiple roles in different capacities, reflecting his adaptability, leadership, and deep understanding of technology and operations. He is rooted in Trivandrum, and his professional path mirrors the evolution of Kerala's own IT story. Welcome, Manu. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Kartika. Thank you for having me here. And thank you very much for the awesome, warm introduction. It's an honor.
DCUBE AI was founded in 2019, a time when AI was just getting accelerated globally after the major breakthroughs in 2017 and 2018. So at that point in time, what was the core vision which enabled you to think about starting a company based on AI?
So, just before I get started, I just want to let everybody know that DCUBE AI is we are predominantly a AI service company, right? Into definitely into software services. And I would also like to mention the names of my co-founders.
Okay.
So we have Dr. Ayyappan, who is our chairman. Binoop is our chief executive officer. Shaju is our chief technology officer, and I manage the operations. Okay. Uh, there is an interesting background for DCUBE AI. So I'll take you back to that 2019, last 2020 time, right? So Shaju, Binoop, and I, we were all in the software services industry for more than 2 decades then, and you know we uh, we sensed, we kind of felt a shift in the technology towards automation and probably even a faster shift towards artificial intelligence, AI, right? So we got really interested in all that and we focused on AI at that point of time. The spark, I would say, we realized the fact that um, data driven decision making,
Mhm.
right? Which, when we power with AI, is definitely going to be the backbone of future businesses.
Okay.
That is a spark. That is something which we realized when we, got a little bit deep into AI. And if you actually see the name DCube AI resonates that. The name DCube AI, the three Ds, right, is actually for data-driven decision using
Okay.
AI. That's how we coined the name DCube AI. Back then, uh, artificial intelligence was picking up pace. But what we also felt, and we also saw that there was a lack of talent. When I say talent, not people who didn't know technology. It is more about people who had the real-time professional experience, right? And whoever were available were super costly.
Right.
We thought, okay, why not make use of that as an opportunity and look at a way of building capacity from the ground up. That led to an initial vision of forming DCube AI as a research and development center. We had a lot of plans, but unfortunately, the unprecedented hit from the pandemic, right?
COVID.
From COVID, yeah, just like it disrupted a lot of a lot of chaotic stuff. So there were a lot of restrictions in traveling, gathering, so on and so forth. So we couldn't. Some of our plans, it definitely they were affected. At the same time, people who were involved with us, they also wanted to join us in this whole AI journey.
Okay.
So suddenly, overnight, we had expenses to meet, take care of people, and then we thought, okay, maybe it is better that we kind of uh, do a shift in the way we are thinking things, and then we started off with DCube AI as an IT company. We went back to software services, but kind of focusing on AI. Sales kicked in, but at the same time, we are very careful to invest in the artificial intelligence, that is training people, making sure that we build that team and all that stuff. So, of course, rest is history. Well, today we have offices in Technopark, InfoPark, across US, UK, and the Middle East, right? So, if you ask me, the early adoption, understanding AI, the early adoption, and that decision to lead with elements of research, innovation, uh, you know, um, and the whole resilience that we showcase during the pandemic, right? And also that flexibility to shift strategies, right? That laid the strong foundation for DCUBE Ai.
Artificial intelligence or AI, this is part of us, or maybe our Kerala's IT sector for the past 2 to 3 years only, right? But you started even before that. 2019, you had started. And at that time, as I understand, like AI models, this digital ecosystem, everything, cloud ecosystem, everything, they were not as mature as it is today. That's what I believe. But then I assume you might have faced some challenges during that time, right? So could you elaborate on those?
First thing is the company was registered in 2019 and we
Mm.
kind of started operations in 2020. So basically, if you look at the infrastructure side,
Mm.
a lot of things have actually changed in the last 5 years, right? The raw computing power
Yep.
that we have, right? So when we started, we had we paid quite hefty to get a GPU card, for us to train models and use models and all that stuff. But today, if you see, your mobile is AI enhanced, right? A lot of smart devices that are AI enhanced. Your laptop is, that's a big difference that you see in terms of infrastructure. Look at the software resources. We spoke about models, pre-trained models, or the availability of pre-trained models during that time was definitely a challenge because we had to adopt a model and then kind of train it.
Right.
That takes time. So that pretty much falls, mostly it fell into the critical path of the project, right? Which
Mhm.
means it's going to add expense,
Yeah.
it's going to take a lot of timeline, all that stuff. Today, I'm sure you'd be using ChatGPT, all these typical GPTs, LLMs, whatever, right? So they're all pre-trained. All you have to do is go ask your question, it'll give you an answer. You
Right.
don't have to train it or anything of that sort. So there's a lot of effort that had to go into train, actually annotate and label the data.
Right.
When you use data, when you have data, and for the model to recognize it, you need to have all those tags, right? You need to
Yes.
tag the data. It was a manual process. Again, time consuming, adds to the cost. But today, there's a lot of synthetic data that's available that are tagged. If you ask me a challenge, the biggest challenge would have been the customer expectations, right?
Yes.
Advent of AI, often it was mistook for automation. Today, AI is not actually, wasn't actually a business driver. It was more treated as a small project, as a task, where you just put AI. People wanted AI in most of the things. That was the, kind of hype. But that is not the case today. Today, if you see, um, AI is a business driver and ROIs are pretty, the return on investments are very well defined and it can be demonstrated too.
I heard you mention about Gartner hype cycle.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So for the benefit of audience and myself as well, could you elaborate on that?
Oh, yeah, sure. See, um, in simple terms, just consider that as a graphic tool, which shows the evolution of a technology
Okay.
over a period of time.
Okay.
So the Gartner hype cycle, it is normally looked up, mostly consumed by businesses, by innovators, technology adopters, all these people to see where at this point of time the technology is. So it is nothing but, uh, a bell-shaped thing,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a bell-shaped thing, a graph, which at its peak. So it is basically a hype cycle.
Oh, okay. Hype
So hype
cycle.
cycle.
Okay.
So let us look at it this way. There is a new technology that has been formed, invented, thought about, conceived, whatever, right? So there is an innovation trigger. So at the bottom, there is an innovation trigger for this particular graph, okay?
Okay.
And over a period of time, maybe there's a lot of hype on this technology. It keeps climbing up the hype cycle, that particular bell, right? So it goes up. the technology moves in that particular graph, it goes up, and then it reaches something like a peak of inflated expectation, right?
Yeah. Right.
It just moves on hype.
Right.
The real world scenarios, real solutions may be very less, but it just moves on hype. Some point of time, the hype stops and reality kicks in. When suddenly the world realizes that this technology is costly,
Yeah.
it's not that easy to implement, and the results may vary, right? So it reaches that peak of inflated expectations and starts falling down, right?
Okay.
It goes down. I think it's called the trough of disillusionment.
Okay.
That is when people, that realization is made, right? So it goes down, and at some point of time, there is a slope of enlightenment, which means, yes, more real-time scenarios are in, expectations are becoming very realistic, right? And then there is something called a plateau of productivity, which means it goes up and then it goes in a kind of a straight line. It's a plateau, right?
Right.
So that is when the technology becomes more mainstream. That is, there are a lot of these adoptions and so. So if you actually go and search, right, this um, Gartner hype cycle is there for everything, not just for AI. So I used to keep looking at it, where some of these technologies fall.
Since you started in 2019 and DCUBE is still on the path of growth, right? So, are there any specific strategies which has worked out and it is still in place, aiding in the company's growth?
We always try to make sure that whatever the work that we take, are solving, real-time problems, right? And it's all
Yes.
about solution for real-time problems, because that is what really adds value. The other thing that I can think about is the transparency that we follow.
Okay.
Transparency that we follow in our internal communication, as well as our communication with the clients, because trust factor is something which we emphasize
Of
on.
course.
If you lose trust, you
Yep.
lose business. So if it's something which we cannot do, we say we cannot do. We invest heavily on training. We have a
Okay.
very dedicated trainer, because it's not just AI. Generally, the technology landscape is something which keeps changing,
Evolved,
right?
changing every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Now we'll come to a different area. Okay. So, you have been working with clients across different verticals, as I understand. How do you view the potential of AI in transforming Kerala's real estate sector? Especially in terms of like maybe facility management or sustainability or workspace efficiency in those areas.
Good question. In fact, we are working, as in what I'm trying to say is we do have a client in the US.
Okay.
So we are actually helping them with smart city solutions. What we have done for them and what we are doing for them is kind of a digital twin model. If you know what a digital twin is, basically a digital twin is nothing but a digital format of a physical form. So in those cases, they're building smart, like it's like a smart city, which means the buildings are smart. Maybe management of different facilities, water management or whatsoever, right? Parking, all these
Okay.
could be like in a smart way.
Smart way.
So what they have done is they have, in fact, mapped it to a digital format.
Okay.
Basically, we have helped them. Like our solutioning is that we have helped them map it into a digital format, and these buildings, they have IoT sensors, and all these devices that are being used are pretty smart. Basically, what that means is it can send out data which can be interpreted by AI systems or whatsoever for predictions. Like for example, the water meter
Okay.
will always be sending data in terms of the water consumption and all that stuff, right? Now you have a sequential flow of this data coming to you. So you analyze that data from which you can predict for the next 6 months. Everything can be recorded and they can plan accordingly, which helps a lot in their planning, not just planning for the water consumption, for whatever it is, right?
Right.
It could be electricity, it could be parking, whatever it is, they could plan. In that way, it is a very sustainable model. So extending that, why not apply the same in our real estate sector, right? Consider the new buildings that are coming up in Technopark, Technocity, other parks, So there, if you have buildings with smart sensors, basically the building itself becomes smart. Look at computer vision systems, right? These computer vision, we have worked in that area also. So the computer vision systems, it can be used for access, it can be used for compliance monitoring, it can be used for visitor analysis, management, whatsoever, right? So one of the use cases, that we are involved today is actually the safety in a construction site. It is very difficult for somebody to hire 100 people to watch whether the construction workers are wearing helmets or their safety harness or whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's all done by computer vision. We can extend it here. We can do that. So yeah, absolutely. AI can help in these things. Yeah.
Kerala and Kerala IT, we are placing the state as an emerging hub for deep tech and digital innovation. So, how do you think, or how do you see DCUBE Ai contributing to this larger vision?
Our um, technology innovation ecosystem is actually state's technology innovation system is one of the best in India. Coming to your question of how DCube can contribute, right? I look at it in this way. So there are implicit things and there are explicit things, right? For example, when I talk about implicit things, even our training that we give to our folks is in a way adding to the state's talent pool. We work with some of the colleges here for internship. Like, for example, they send their students for internships.
Okay.
Now, students in their college, during their college time, they learn a lot of theory. But when they come for internships, they get a first-hand view of how we do things, how solutions are being built, right? For real-time problems, right? So that is a contribution that I see in building up the state's talent pool, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's one. If you ask me, what are the explicit things, then the examples that I can share, like, see, DCUBE Ai, we participate in GITEX Global. That's a technology event.
Okay.
Right? It happens every year in Dubai. We participate in such technology events, be it GITEX Global or LEAP that happens in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
But we don't go there just as DCUBE Ai. We go under the Kerala IT banner. When we go there, we place our products and services against the global competitors, right? We actually, it is there for the visitors to see. So when it is actually, uh, there is a global, when there is a global competition that is happening, right? That actually puts Kerala IT onto the global IT map.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And Kerala is not just seen as a place for cheap labor. So that way people see these products and services and then they understand that there's a lot of technology advancement that's happening in the state of Kerala.
Right. Coming back to this Technopark ecosystem, being part of this ecosystem has its own advantages. So I would like to know how it has helped, or this environment has helped in shaping your journey, maybe in terms of talent acquisition, in terms of infrastructure or collaboration, or on overall growth. How has this helped?
See, role of Technopark has been more than meaningful. That's the way I'll put it.
Okay.
You asked me about talent pool, right? So look at the experienced professionals in Technopark. There are more than 80,000 professionals
Yes.
who are associated with different companies across multiple domains.
Right.
There is a huge, talent pool
Right,
there,
correct.
which we can obviously, tap into or, bank on. Now, that's for the experienced professionals.
Right.
Look, in case you want to hire freshers, right? Technopark is associated with bodies, industry bodies like GTech and other bodies like Mueller,
Okay.
right? So GTech has a academia focus group.
Okay.
Basically, the objective of that particular focus group is to work with the different colleges and help students become industry ready. The other point that you mentioned is about collaboration. I
Yes.
presume you're talking about collaboration between
Yes.
companies. Yeah.
Yeah.
How? See, the whole collaboration is coming from the culture of Technopark. And in fact, if you see, the culture of Technopark is one of the most underrated strengths of Technopark. It promotes a sense of community.
Right.
Right?
Yes, of course.
We call ourselves the techies, right? The tech community, right? There is absolutely no what do you call rivalry based on business or anything of that sort. So there are no such boundaries, right? We have loan resources from other companies when we are in need of them. But collaboration works, right? So I think overall it has been a very meaningful role that Technopark has played for the growth of DCUBE Ai.
So, just as you mentioned, Technopark and Kerala has a very strong talent pool, right? So, what skills or mindsets do you believe our young professionals should have so that they can stay strong, they can stay relevant in an AI driven future?
Today, the most important skill that one should have should be centered around solutioning. It should be an overall understanding of what one is doing,
Right.
right? What is the problem that we are trying to resolve,
Mm.
right? Is the solution the best solution that is being given? Like in terms of multiple approaches, whatever, right? So you qualify it, then you provide a solution.
Right.
Anybody, right, who is entering the industry, to any experienced person, I think the first thing that they should be looking at is how to do the right solutioning.
Yep.
That should be an integral part of you. I'm not saying you shouldn't think about technology or anything of that sort. You should, but the technology is more of an adoption to provide that solution.
Yeah.
In terms of technology, in my opinion, again, one should actually do or build, they should have a technical depth as well as a technical breadth,
Okay.
right? It's called a T-shaped skill.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the breadth and you have the depth.
Yeah.
So in terms of AI, what are we looking at? You're looking at probably programming using Python. Maybe you're looking at machine learning, data engineering, in terms of deployment, DevOps or MLOps. So there are different things that are available today. So I would say be a master in one or two these areas, right? If you're having programming and your core skill is on machine learning or data engineering, also have a good understanding of DevOps, right? MLOps,
Yeah.
whatsoever. So have the breadth and the depth. Why I say that is because the technical breadth is what is going to help you stay adaptable. And obviously, the core is what is going to keep you employable.
So, let's come to the final question of the day. Okay. Based on all the advancements you have witnessed till date, from your experience till date, what is one simple, practical piece of advice you would like to give to companies, or especially in Kerala, those who want to start in their AI journey?
If you haven't started the AI journey till, but you have a plan to start or get into AI, I think it's already late, but never too late. So that uh, needs to happen fast. The typical filter needs to be put in place. If you want to get into AI, what is it that you're looking for? Are you looking at having a product line in AI, or are you going to offer? What is the goal? Are you going to offer? If you're going as a product, you need to have a lot of patience and you need to have a lot of financial backup, because the research and development and all those things, experimentation in AI, infrastructure, all these are still costly. If you are going into the AI services, right? I think the entry is a little bit more easy. There are, like I said earlier, there are a lot of the trained and pre-trained models that are available. So based on the solution that you want to offer, you can actually go for one of these models and then integrate that into your solution, and then uh, go ahead with the rest of your steps. So this would be my thought process, right? In case you want to start a AI journey.
So, thank you for joining us. It was great talking to you. You shared your experience, your approach, the way you started, even before we thought about the AI. All those things were so good to hear. Thank you so much for joining in Aspire.
Thank you, Kartika. It's been a wonderful time here. Thanks for all the questions. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with the viewers. Thank you very much.
With that, we have come to the end of this episode. And until we meet next time, this is Kartika signing off.